Good morning, Trevor Riggins. Thanks for being my guest on the Valder Beebe Show today. How are you?
Absolutely. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for being here once again. I want my audience to know I'm going to be speaking with Trevor Riggin. He's with the American Red Cross, and he's going to be talking a lot about the humanitarian side of it. Trevor, we know about the Red Cross to a certain extent, but what happens when a disaster hits your community?
Well, as you know well there in Texas, disasters have become such a constant presence in our communities. And just over the last 60 days, we've seen storms just race across all of the Southeast United States and the Midwest. More than 1,000 tornadoes have touched down right there in Cook County. Most recently on Memorial Day weekend, we saw a devastating tornado that took several lives. And unfortunately, that's being played out over and over again in so many communities. And so for us, the work to be ready for that starts weeks and months beforehand, making sure we have the volunteers and the resources and the partnerships to show up to deliver that service. And when the time comes, we stand up relief centers, emergency shelters to make sure people have a safe place to go. We're serving hundreds of thousands of meals to make sure people who've lost power have access to food. But we're also helping them with recovery, providing today nearly $2 million in financial assistance just in the last few months to make sure people have that path forward. And all of this is driven by the thousands of volunteers, more than 2,000 volunteers and staff that have been deployed over the last few months. That's who drives the Red Cross. That's who delivers our mission.
The Red Cross is there. When you see a lot of time, you'll see the Red Cross there providing comfort and support to those victims of that tragedy. What kind of services does the Red Cross provide following a storm and a tornado?
So, as I mentioned, thankfully, the forecasting has vastly improved over the last few years. And so we're able to start mobilizing those resources even before disaster strikes. So a lot of readiness with our volunteers and partners. But once that disaster strikes, that service usually starts with a shelter, with Red Cross volunteers standing up a local high school gym or community center with cots and blankets and resources so that people have a safe place to evacuate to. For those that can't afford a hotel or maybe can't get to a hotel that's nearby, there's a place for them to stay. And we'll keep that shelter open as long as we need to care for that family. Through that process, we do casework with families. We have nurses and mental health specialists provide services. We also begin part of the recovery process. What do they need to move forward in the recovery, whether they found out their home was destroyed or they found out they just need some additional help? And we offer financial assistance to help them through that process and referrals to partners who can help them start to rebuild whatever it is they've lost in that disaster.
What should people do when they get a severe warning issued in their area?
So it is so important to be weather alert, to make sure you have the information at hand and to be able to act on that information. Just over the last few months, we've issued 70 million different disaster alerts to families facing these severe weather emergencies. And we'd urge everyone to please download the free Red Cross Emergency app. You can get that app on your phone. You can set it up to give you alerts for your own home. You can also set it up for your friends and family in neighboring communities or states to help them stay informed. The second piece is listen to the local authorities. Listen to the news and what local authorities are putting out there. Don't rush to the window or race out to the street to see that storm. If they tell you to shelter in place or ask you to stay off the roads, please listen. That could save your life, and it also gives space to first responders to save other lives.
I want my audience to know that Trevor Riggin, he was appointed president of the Humanitarian Services in 2022. So he's got a little bit of service under his belt. Trevor, as I finally wrap up, knowing that these communities have been affected, how can we, the listening audience, how can we help?
We need your help. There are so many more disasters today than there were just a few years ago. And there's a need for everyone to step up to play a role in disaster. So the first way is a financial donation. And you can go to redcross.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS to make that donation. Our work is driven by the generosity of the American people. And so we need your help to continue that service. The second way is to volunteer. As we head into a very dangerous hurricane season this year with above average forecast, we will need more volunteers than ever. And whether that's volunteering to serve in your neighborhood or community, or deploying across the country to a major disaster, we need you. And so go to 1-800-RED-CROSS or redcross.org and sign up today. And lastly, and very importantly, these severe weather emergencies cause blood drives to be canceled. They force people to cancel their appointments, and there is a desperate need for blood every single day. If you can, go to redcross.org, schedule that appointment today. That single donation could save up to 3 lives.
That's great information, Trevor. Thank you so very much for what you do and the service that you provide to America and across the world. We really appreciate your services. Thanks for being my guest on the Valder Beebe Show. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Valder Beebe, host of the Valder Beebe Show. We have over 1,000 videos on ValderBeebeShow.com and YouTube.com/Valder Beebe Show. We upload new videos daily. Our site is a modern baby boomer platform with news and information important to boomers. Subscribe to YouTube.com/Valder Beebe Show and stay connected as I interview the world's most fascinating people.